All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Racha, Kudash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And as you can see in the title, Universal Basic Income Trial has started in England. And I have an article here from Zero Hedge, and let's go through it. Whatever precepts come to mind, I'll get them. But really, this is more so an update on this. Now, a couple weeks back, I did a lesson on them doing something similar in the U.S. Okay, but you're starting to see that this concept of the universal basic income, or the UBI, is not such a strange conspiracy theory anymore, and is now more publicly being announced, used, tried out. Okay, and now you're seeing the direction in which things are headed in, because we're pretty much living in a time when these prophecies are starting to speak. Yep, that's it, the water. This is Ash, Racha, Yasharala, Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak. So what is an example of the vision? Well, when you go to Revelation 13 and 16, 17 and 18, right, which deals with the mark, the MOTB, that was a vision that was seen by the Apostle John, with along with many other precepts which go into visions, things that were seen of the future that were written down in the scriptures, and they were set for an appointed time. Meaning, for example, when the Apostle John saw people taking the MOTB, he saw that at an appointed time. Okay, he didn't know or jot down whether it was going to be 2023, 2024. He did none of that stuff, but we know that it's set for some given day. Okay, and as it says, but at the end it shall speak, because a lot of these visions were of the end of the last days. And so, being that now we're in the end, that is when these visions are going to start speaking, meaning that you're going to start to see them manifest in their fullness. It says, it shall speak and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So here we're at the part where these visions are the time in between tarrying is very little. Now there's more and more information coming out at a very rapid pace concerning these prophetic steps. So let's take a look at this article, and if you, for those that weren't aware, I basically got a strike on this channel and my other main backup page, Bakwar Moth 144 Ba. So I had to go to my other page, which is Bakwar Moth 12. Okay, and I believe on my YouTube page, if you go to channels or somewhere or about one of those places, I've linked those in there too. So in the case that you don't see uploads on this channel, because I upload pretty consistently, so if you don't see any uploads on this channel, then that's usually what happened. They strike the channel and stuff. But anyway, let's get into this. So it says universal basic income to be trialed in England. The scheme will see participants receive £1,600 a month for 2 years. Now, when you see this, right, for 2 years, it almost makes it sound as though it's this trial is meant to be like a 2-year trial, but we understand by now how these how they move when it comes to giving out time and deadlines and dates. All right, they throw these out there just to throw them out there, but then they come back again and saying maybe 3 or 6 months, oh, they're actually making this more than just a trial, rolling it out for more countries or more people, turning it into an actual thing. Okay, so it says plans have been announced to trial a universal basic income, or UBI, in England that would see up to 30 people receive an unconditional payment of £1,600, which is equivalent to 1854 euros a month. Under the scheme, which is the first of its kind in England, residents in central Jarrow, northeast England, and East Finchley, North London, will be handed the funds each month for 2 years. and researchers will monitor the effect the payment has on their work ethic and mental well-being, which then introduces some avenue of tracking, of payment tracking, of trying. I mean, because what exactly are they going to monitor? How do you? Here's a question for you. How do you monitor the effect of payments on work ethic and mental well-being? What do you actually look at in a person to see their work ethic and mental well-being? Are you going to track their days where they're working, the days when they call out? Are you going to track where they are after work? What activities they engage in? Is that what you're going to track to tell you what their mental well-being is like? How are you going to do that? See? Anyway, it's and it says the trial run has been organized by the Progressive Autonomy think tank, which is seeking to fund the 1.6 million pound scheme through private donors. Uh-oh, private donors. And you know the scriptures talk about the servant being borrower to the lender, borrower, the borrower being subject to the lender. And you have to keep in mind these individuals are the same kind who will hunt you down. If you owe them 2 cents, they will take your ass to collections and hunt you down until they get that or more. And they want to just give you free money every month for 2 years as a trial for what? What is the so if they do this experiment and they find out, oh, it does increase work ethic and mental well-being, what are you going to do after that? You're going to start giving everybody this money? There's always a catch. Okay, when you're dealing with the devil, the deceiver, there's always a catch. This guy, Mayor Amschel Bauer, said, give me control over a nation's money, and I care not who makes the laws. So you already know how they feel about money, right? I think there's a quote that says, if money is God, then the Rothschild is his prophet, something along those lines. And these elites that are pulling strings behind the scenes all of a sudden think it's a good idea to just give you free money. At what cost, though? Anyway, it says the initiative is not being paid for by UK taxpayers and is not affiliated with the British government. And this is just, I mean, this is just like a preliminary step. The universal basic income in itself is just what you're seeing right now. That looks like a scene from George Orwell's 1984. That he looks like the actor from that movie. Oh, I guess it is. Like totally Orwellian, nearly a third of Gen Z favors government surveillance cameras in every household. Yeah, they gotta go. That generation, man, shit. No wonder Z. Anyway, so the point is, there's always a catch. This is just a step in a bigger direction. You don't use the term universal basic income and then only apply it to one country or to a few cities. That doesn't make sense. If the name is universal basic income, then it implies that it will be universal, it will be worldwide. But then again, they have England is not the only place that is trying this. Okay, and at the same time, the form of finance is going digital. But in order to have a true universal basic income, you'd need a universal currency to avoid all the mismatches and all of these things. Keep everything on the same playing field. So there's always a next step to this. This is just the beginning step. The second thing to also keep in mind here is the last time they did this, all right, conceptually, where they did the same thing. Here, I take one example. Here in the US was during the pandemic, right? And during the pandemic, they gave out the stimulus checks. Why? Because people were locked down. People couldn't go outside. They couldn't go to work. They couldn't do all that stuff. So they started sending them these checks so they could take care of themselves and so on and so forth. Right. So in that situation, there was, according to them, a need, right? There was a reasoning behind sending people this money. So when you then go to say, well, we're going to trial this universal basic income, which is basically like the same thing. We're just going to send you this money every month for X amount of, X amount for X amount of years or months or days. Why? Do you have some plan for the future where people will be locked down, where people won't be allowed to go out? What is it? So it says here, our society is going to require some form of basic income in the coming years, given the tumult of climate. Oh, there it is. Of climate change, tech disruption, and industrial transition that lies ahead. And you know what climate change comes with climate lockdowns. Claimed Will Strong, Autonomy's director of research, which when ultimately the future of money really for you is not even going to be real money. It's not going to be gold and silver. No, for you, with the future of money, they want to be just credits, digital credits that they can program. They can just type, oh, you behave good, pump some credits onto this thing. If not, take some off. It's just that credits. It's a complete make believe system, and you're actually putting in labor, working, doing whatever it is for credits. And that's why they have things like, the whole goal is to keep people confined to a small space and put you in that artificial life. Now Apple just came out with something called the um, Apple Vision Pro. Okay, so you have the Apple Vision Pro. I saw this, I believe, yesterday or a day before, and this is supposed to be a new VR slash AR headset being developed by Apple. And let me see. Hopefully, they don't hit me with no copyright strikes for this. Okay. Yeah. So you put this on, and as you can see on the screen, right, you can see how she's able to manipulate the like, basically put the things you would see on a digital screen almost in your real world. That's the AR, augmented reality, right? So you can do things like this, and you can also go into VR where you can submerge yourself, right, in a scene where it's almost like you're there, right? You're literally sitting in your room or whatever it is, but you can see things like this, right? See that? Just there you go. You can also see things like that where it looks like literally you're in the exact place. You look to your left, it looks like you're actually in the movie or whatever it is. Now, what does this do? The this promotes the lifestyle of, why do you have to go out into nature in real life if you can just get it from a headset? Now, there was an anime years ago called Sword Art Online. And in that anime, I think they were in the year 2024 or 22 or something like that in Japan. But basically, they came out with this VR headset. They called it the Nerve Gear, and you would put it on your head, and you would just lay down on your bed, like go to sleep, and you could put the whatever program you wanted to run, and once it activates, your it's like Elon Musk's Neuralink, but on the next level, where you see how this gentleman is standing right here. What you would do is you would put the headset on, you would lay on your bed, you would close your eyes, activate it, and then the next time you open your eyes, you're actually inside of the virtual world. So just like today, you can look at your hand and walk and do all these things, you would be able to do that in the virtual world. And in actuality, your body's just laying on the bed, but your brain and your digital self, you're actually moving. You're running, moving, jumping, flying, etc. All of these things. Okay, and that's that concept. So who needs to go outside when you have that, right? Anyway, so imagine a society like that, because that's where they're ultimately pushing towards. A society where you don't deal with the actual natural concepts of things. You don't deal with organic items. You deal with inorganic things. And like Yuval Noah Harari mentioned, they're going to be, or they want to be, the gods of the inorganic world, where they're able to make inorganic things, artificial world, and they're the gods of the artificial world. And you are going to be part artificial because they're going to make you part artificial. Okay. And they're going to they're able to control all of that. So they can keep you confined to a small section, and you'll be okay with it. Everything is subscription based. You live your life in a virtual world, hence the metaverse. And trust and believe, the metaverse is not right now, them cheap ass whack graphics, them little Nintendo looking scenes on there. That's not gonna be the ultimate. They're gonna come out with something to fully try to entice people, to make it seem as though you're actually inside of that world. So these devils are really trying to imprison humanity, but they're trying to make it enticing. Just like when you deal with the book of Genesis, it tells you how when the serpent came to Eve, he beguiled her, but it said that the fruit was it was pleasing to her eyes. One desire to make one wise, right? And in her eyes, she was like, "Yo, this thing look good." But that's what the devil does. He sells poison like his ice cream. He sells wickedness and makes it look good. Hence, he's called the devil. Anyway, it says this is why building the evidence base and public engagement now is so important. So the ground is well prepared for national implementation. So what they're doing is that gradual process of everything is already set up. Now we're introducing it bit by bit, step by step into society, and then we can slowly start to enlarge that. Before you know it, digital currencies are not going to be a big deal. Then they're going to be a norm. Same way when this guy Trayvon Martin got shot and Mike Brown was killed, and it was such a big deal. Now Jay gets shot all the time in the street, but it's normal because you've been desensitized to it. So the same thing in the introductory phase is where it's like, oh, they're coming out with this CBDC, this, that, and the third. But you hear it enough times and it becomes normal. You see people start using it, it becomes normal. That's what they're gonna do. And before you know it, just like you see people walking around here, you're gonna see people walking around with C-hips inside of their body, going to stores, scanning it that way. That's why they have the Amazon Pay with your palm and all of those things. So the paying with the C-hip or the MOTB is just another one of these kinds of things that you've already seen 10,000 million times. These devils move with subtlety. So it says he explained that researchers were interested to note the effect of the UBI payment, or note the effect the UBI payment would have on people's mental and physical health, as well as their desires to continue working. Recipients will be free to carry on earning their own salary if they wish, and will receive the payment on top of any employment income. Well, good luck with that with the major unemployment that's coming. All the evidence shows that UBI would directly alleviate poverty and boost millions of people's well-being. The potential benefits are just too large to ignore. But hold on. Let's take a step back and let's actually think about this for a second. This would alleviate poverty. Well, how long has poverty been here? How long has poverty been around? And you wait till 2023 to want to all of a sudden you want to fix poverty? That could have been solved a long time ago, no? Why now? What makes now so special? Why all of a sudden the deep care about poverty now when you've been spending all your money in military might and destroying other countries and shit, and now all of a sudden you care about alleviating poverty and boosting millions of people's well-being? Is that what you did when you made them drink the potion? Or the chemtrails you spray above them? I'm assuming that's also for our well-being as well. And that's also too large to ignore. It says UBI schemes have recently been piloted elsewhere in Europe, most notably in Finland. See, it's not just here; it's all around. It's spreading, just like the CBDCs, where a government-backed initiative saw 2,000 unemployed citizens of working age receive a more modest 560 euros a month in January 2017. See, going all the way back. Because this isn't a new thing. It's not a new concept. They're just making it more open now. One proponent of UBI is US billionaire Elon Musk, who believes the scheme could be an adequate response to the inevitable continuous infringement of artificial intelligence in the workplace. UBI means that unemployed people will be paid across the globe, keyword across the globe, right? The globe. It says Musk told a tech summit in Dubai back in 2017. Machines, robots are taking over. There will be fewer and fewer jobs that a robot cannot do better, he added. Uh-oh, sound like the future now? Critics, however, consider the concept to be far too expensive to roll out nationally, would undermine productivity and prevent the government from investing in other priorities, as well as result in citizens relying even more on the state. Oh, you don't say. One would think that maybe this is what they wanted for the citizens to rely more on the state. I mean, if I was the state, I think I would like that. That would give me a lot more power, no? And maybe doing away with cash, which gave people more freedom and privacy. Well, when we do away with that and we throw in them digital currencies where we can track everything, that also goes out the window. So ain't that great? Anyway, this is just another step. Like I said, they're putting all of these things together right before your eyes. So this is nothing to joke around with, man. The prophecies are screaming louder and louder. And if you're not watching, okay, if you're not paying attention, you're not on your watch, and you're not looking, you're gonna get caught off guard. Being worried about everything else other than prophecy, you're gonna get caught off guard. And when that time comes, the questions will come with it. The curiosity will come with it, the fear, the uncertainty, the instability. It's all gonna come with it because things are gonna be moving quick. Temptations are gonna be all over the place, and uncertainty is gonna be a very, very main thing out here. So people are gonna be seeking that stability. But pursuant to Isaiah 33:6, the wisdom and knowledge of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is going to be that stability. But it's really only going to take effect for the elect. So anyway, with that, I'm going to end it here. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha, Kodash. Until next time, Shalom.